Hi. I wanted to show you our current meter. It's supposed to get swapped out tomorrow, and unfortunately it's a cloudy day. I think if the sun was out, these dots that you see going from left to right would be going right to left, which most of the day it was yesterday when it was all nice and sunny. This means that we're using wattage from the grid. When it was going the other way, it meant our power, we were using less than our solar power system was putting out, and we were actually feeding the grid, and we would be getting a credit. But as it was, because this meter doesn't do the credit, we were just not increasing. The number wasn't going up. And I think that's kind of neat, and I'm not sure if the new meter is going to look any different than this one. But I wanted to go ahead and videotape it because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. That's why it's overcast. And I also wanted to show you how the first two panels that my husband got, what he did, he set this up earlier in the year, and he played around with it, did all sorts of stuff. He got the massive inverter. Actually, what he did was he started out with two battery backup systems that have failed, BBSs, that the batteries had gone bad because most people don't take care of these UPSs, uninterrupted power supplies, and battery backup systems, BBSs. In the offices, you know, they have those so that their computers can be shut down properly, or have to do stuff when the power's out. And they don't take care of them, and normally what happens is the batteries go bad. But everything else in that system works, which is the inverter, the one that actually takes the DC power from the batteries and converts it to AC power. So he played around with that, bought the massive inverter that's now on the big system, that's in the grid tie system. But he made this, concreted in the footing. I think this is all aluminum tubing here, and aluminum sheet metal that those three holes down at the bottom. The one that's connected is the winter setting, and then the next one to the left is for spring and fall. Then the one with the corrosion, I guess, that's the summer setting. And that's where it has spent most of its time on. And my husband's with this system, he has been recharging my batteries for the drills during the kitchen remodel, so that it was solar powered. And the crock pots during the summer and such, he did it down in the back. And let me get this a little leveled out, but there's the grid tie system. Sorry for this. Anyway, and what you're looking over is where we have our storm shelter root cellar that we need to redo again. And we did this before we were preppers. I was always safety conscious, and when we first moved out here, it's all mobile homes. I call it my redneck mansion. It's a double wide. And we did research on, in the event of a hurricane or a tornado warning or something, where do we go? Where's the closest place we can go for safety? Well, the answer was, depending on the route, where they believed the storm was going to go, they would select a building someplace, a public building, outside of that area. So there's a couple of armories not too far from here. There's several schools. They're not safe. They're really not safe in the event of a tornado. And we do get hurricanes through here. So we built this, and I didn't want it just to have a storm shelter, so I wanted to use it as a root cellar. And there's certain things like it has to have a sump pump. If I did this again, I would not put it below our water table. Our water table, you dig too deep, 2 feet in, you get water. That hole will fill up with water on itself. There's a layer of clay pretty much within 2 feet, and that the water just kind of sits on top and slides down. We're going down. You're looking uphill on our property, so all the water comes down here. In fact, at our front step, the dirt there has gone up about 6 inches since we moved here 13 years ago. So all that topsoil is just running down. And we have used this storm shelter one night when there was a really bad storm coming through. It's not hidden. When it was being done, our neighbors came out. The fences weren't here, and then the neighbors came out looking, and we talked to them and said, yeah, they're welcome. They say, if there's a storm coming, yeah, you're welcome. Just bring what you need to take you through the night. I had lounge chairs for laying on. I had a little toilet area curtained off. I had snacks down there that my son didn't know about initially until we had that night in the storm, and then no more snacks down there. So there's we were doing this not so much for prepping for disaster or economic collapse. It's not hidden. We didn't do this in hiding. I have the attitude that my neighbors, if they need something, I'm supposed to help with that. Not in a stupid way. We got some elderly, we got some very ill neighbors, and then we got some neighbors with addiction problems. And I know I've got family members with those similar issues, and I know what's help and what's not help. And I will gladly feed anybody, and I will take somebody to a doctor. I will shelter them if they need it. I'll give them clothes if they need it, blankets. So none of this is done in hiding. I talk about it. You know, when an ice storm comes through and everyone's like, oh, I gotta go to the store and get bread and stuff, and I look at them and they go, yeah, I know, I should have already had that. Yeah, and they know if they can't make it to the store, I'll be more than glad to help them. And they helped us when our well went out. These neighbors over here next to us allowed us to put a hose. My husband ran a hose, got a special an odd adapter, literally put it into a spigot, and we had water in our house during the week that we had a new well dug. And kitties. So anyway, a lot more to do. Come on down. She doesn't like using that ramp. We need to set her up with something better. There's always something. Anyway, just wanted to show you what was going on with the solar panels, and got rambling about other stuff. Thanks for watching.